Happy Thursday, everybody. This is going to be a quick one for everybody out there in the world because here in New Jersey, we're going to get a bunch of snow, so we got to make this meeting on our side a little long. So first and foremost, today feels like it's not how you start, but how you finish kind of day, right? So it's really about working each call one at a time, and what we want to focus on the most is getting our talk times up, right? If your talk time is around 1 minute, that's very bad. Right? There are some outliers where some days you get a bunch of flips and you get deals, the talk time's a little on the low side, but that can't be business as usual. Talk time should be closer to 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 30 seconds is prime, right? But we have to focus on working the calls longer. So without listening to every call independently, and I just used my 18 years of experience, if your talk time is around a minute, I will preface it with this. We factor in that sometimes people are hung up or sorry, finance manager, the customer disconnected. We understand that that's going to happen probably about 30% of the time is how I project it, right? So now we're still getting 7 out of 10 people to talk to, okay? If the talk time is low, it's one of 3 things, okay? And if the shoe fits, wear it, and if it don't apply, let it fly. But and accountability is an important part because only you can prevent forest fires and only you can hold yourself accountable mentally. So what are the 3 things cause low talk time? 1, you're distracted, right? So you're not answering the phone with the right type of enthusiasm or answering it in the right amount of time or like, hello, finance manager, hello, are you there? That's bad, right? You can't be distracted, especially if calls are a little slow. Like you got to be ready for a next call to come to you. I know when they're coming one after another, you have no time to think, but we don't pay any, and I mean this by no disrespect, but we pay no one here to think. We only pay you to do, right? You start thinking about it, there's 1,000,001 reasons they shouldn't buy it. We don't pay anybody to think, we pay you to do. I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. And believe me, when people start thinking about it, you start having a really tough day. If you just do what you know based on instinct, muscle memory, following the process, follow the scripts, follow the rebuttals, it tends to just come together. So option 1 for low talk times is you're distracted, which is unacceptable. That's something you have to hold yourself accountable to. Option 2 is if they give you any resistance whatsoever, you immediately try to find a way off the phone. What that does is it doesn't make you any better, and it makes it where you have to take 130 phone calls in a day, where you have a low talk time, and you put yourself at risk of either 1, getting sent home, 2, getting sent home for a long time, or 3, getting sent home forever. And we don't want that to happen, right? Because we're investing in you. Option 3, low talk time usually comes from the fact that, like, you're breezing through the script really quick. You're not really answering any of the questions the customer has. And you're just trying to get it over to a flip, which is okay, but it's the best of the 3 options, but it's still not making you better. So as I'm doing this meeting right now, okay, in every office, whether you're Team Canada, Riverside, or here in New Jersey, there are currently people getting trained how to close, right? What they did was they showed they can produce consistently, right? They can show up consistently. They had good talk times, and they had good production, and they had a good amount of flips. So to get to the next, for you to take from step 1 of you getting hired and learning how to kick a flip out to step 2 of us teaching you how to close, you got to put all those pieces before that. So low talk times, low flip percentages, it's hard to keep you. Okay talk times, okay production, we're going to keep you. But if you want to take the step to the next level, you got to show something, right? Because like closed mouths don't get fed, right? And talent rises to the top, okay? So your focus realistically has to be on control what you can control. You're not going to get any better at this job if every single time somebody gives you a rebuttal or an objection, you immediately just are like, all right, no problem, have a nice day. That doesn't work, okay? So if you take one thing from this meeting, I want you to work each phone call until you get hung up on, right? If you lead the league in telling people to have a nice day, that is why you're struggling, right? And I'm not saying be mean to people, okay? And there are some circumstances where they have 300,000 miles, okay? And they don't own a single other car in their house, all right? That person, you can tell them to have a nice day. But the guy who's like, where'd you get my information? I don't think I want it. I'm not interested. I told you stop calling me. Those are the calls you have to work. Because honestly, not to be rude, but like I can go get 250 people in Pakistan and have them read the script that there was never a pushback. But we pay U.S. labor for the fact that we know that there are going to be rebuttals and there's going to be objections, and we need you to work these calls so when it gets into the hands of the closer has a fighting chance to be able to work it. If every time Amor or Javi, just using them as an example because they're right in front of me, you're at what? Amor, 23% closing rate. Javi had a 19.9% closing rate last week. So that's pretty astounding, right? 1 out of 5 people you talk to are a deal. How many no's do you think you get a close on average? I'll start with you, Amor. 10. So you think at least 10 no's per close, right? And what do you think, Javi?
not about a good number.
So it's a double-digit amount of no's per close. Okay, so when you do your job and flip to somebody, the reason we want them taking flips is because they're going to take double-digit no's before they get a yes, right? But now there's your outliers where you get lay downs, this, that, the other thing. But when you're on the phone with somebody for 25, 30 minutes, it's not because you're talking about the weather. It's a lot of pushback, a lot of I'm not interested, a lot of I got to talk to somebody, a lot of I don't have money. So for you to get to where you want to be as somebody who strictly opens phone calls, you've got to start dealing with those problems now. If you want to be like them and everybody else that's closing deals, the pathway is pretty clear here, right? Look, sales isn't for everybody. It doesn't make you a good or bad person. But if you want to get better at sales, you don't have to wait till we're like, hey, we want to anoint you as somebody who takes closes. You have to show us that first so we can now say, hey, this person may have what it takes so they can start taking closes, right? So it's one of those old saying, like, dress for the job you want, not the one you have. Well, work for the job you want, not the one you have. So if you want to learn how to close, work like a closer. Don't take no as an answer, right? Work every single call until there's nothing left. If you want to be somebody who strictly only takes closes and you're somebody in that hybrid position, you better dominate, right? Not just the flips that you get, but the calls that you're getting on it. What got you there, right? Those transfer calls, those regular calls you're flipping and setting up, you better keep those numbers up. And then when you get a flip, dominate and handle them like a champion. It's not a hard formula that we're putting in front of you. If hard work beats talent and talent doesn't work hard, and if you're focused, you're willing to not take no as an answer and work until the customer hangs up on you, I promise you get there. You don't need to be Jordan Belfort to have a high production rate. You really don't. You just have to have good work ethic, thick skin, and you just don't take no as an answer. It's that simple. So I think we'll just cut it off there, right? Not much more for us to talk about. Don't take no as an answer.